Yes, guys, welcome back to another video on the European Football All-Time channel. And today I'm going to be giving my 2025 to 2026 Serie A predictions. Of course, I did the Premier League last week. Of course, the Premier League well and truly back by now. But tonight, or not tonight, but this weekend, it is the return of Serie A. New season. Looking forward to it. I enjoyed last season, and hopefully this season will be even better. But yeah, I'm going to predict the table from 20th up to 1st. So yeah, smash a like, subscribe, and let's. Right, so hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully everything's good, and hopefully you can see this as well. So of course we're going to be doing tier lists. As you can see, we have champions, top four, Europe, mid-table, relegation battle, and relegation. Of course, we have got all of the teams here. Obviously, basically, it's all Cremonese, Fiorentina, Genoa, Verona, Inter, Juve, Lazio, Lecce, Napoli, Parma, Pisa, Roma, Sassuolo, Torino, and Udinese. So, yeah, and we'll get into it. Of course, we'll go team by team. And, of course, the first team is AC Milan. Now, of course, it was a little bit of a disappointing campaign for them last season, and they're obviously missing out on Europe and just overall. By the way, I do apologise about the noise of the washing machine if you can hear it. I mean, the washing machine is literally right underneath where the laptop is, so I do apologise about that. But anyway, it was just a little bit of a disappointing campaign last season for AC Milan. Obviously, like I said, missing out on Europe, and just overall, it was just a little bit of a nightmare for AC Milan. But I think this season will be an improvement for them. Also, they've got a new manager now in Massimiliano Allegri, of course, back as well at Milan because he has been there in the past, of course, formerly of Juve as well. From looking at their pre-season form, they've been decent. I mean, transfer window wise, they've brought in Connie De Winter from Genoa. They've brought in Yashari from Club Brugge, which is good. They brought in Estepinian from Brighton. Obviously, that's a replacement for Teo Hernandez, who, of course, has left. That's, of course, a replacement for Teo Hernandez, who has left. Terracana from Fiorentina, of course. Luka Modric as well. I mean, obviously, that being a replacement for Reinders. And I think, and I think that for me will be, I think that's where Milan are going to struggle. I think they are going to really miss that creativity in midfield. I mean, Reinders was absolutely unbelievable for AC Milan last season. Of course, with him going to Manchester City, it's a good move. It's a good move for them. I mean, obviously, Man City smashed Wolves last week, and Reinders was very good in that game. But I think losing Hernandez and Reinders are two big blows. But we'll have to see how they get on. But like I said, I think it will be an improvement, in my opinion, for AC Milan. They're probably going to be a bit more defensive because that's the style of play Allegri goes for. But overall, I think AC Milan are going to get Champions League football. So we'll put them in here for now. But overall, I have put them to finish third. So I think AC Milan will finish there. And of course, next team is Atalanta. Now, I think it's going to be a real struggle at Atalanta this season. Obviously, the manager, Gasparini's gone. Lookman looks like he's probably not going to play. I mean, the manager, they've got Ivan Juric, who I'm just not convinced at all. Of course, he was at Southampton. He did terrible there. I mean, all the previous jobs he's been at, he's been quite bad, to be honest. And I'm just not convinced by Atalanta this season. I don't think Juric will last the whole season. I'll be quite amazed, to be honest, if Juric lasts the whole season. But I'm not convinced by Atalanta at all. And I think they're going to have a quite dramatic fall off. So I'm going to go with a mid-table spot for Atalanta. And in the thing I've got on my phone, I've predicted them to finish 11th. So, yeah, I think it's going to be a real struggle for them this season. Bologna are the next team. Of course, Bologna winning the Coppa Italia last season. Of course, they finished 9th. Of course, even though they didn't get Europe, but because they won the Coppa Italia, they will be in the Europa League alongside with Roma this season. Obviously, they've still got the same manager as last season in Vincenzo Italiano. Looking at Bologna's squad, they've brought in Ciro Immobile, which very good signing. Of course, scores a lot of goals, so that could be good for them. Departuring wise, they have lost Dan and Joy to Nottingham Forest, which is a bit of a blow. They've also lost Michael Abisha to Pisa as well. They lost him with another major. They've lost Bukema as well, and that's probably about it. But overall, I think you look at Bologna's team, they've still got a good team in my opinion. So I think they will finish in that. I think they'll challenge for Europe. Let me just double check before. Yeah, I am right because I think it is. I think it's top 6 they get Europe. Depending if it's 5 teams the Champions League, and yeah, but I think 7th place for Bologna, so that means mid-table for them. Well, you get what I mean. Anyway, next team we have got Cagliari. Cagliari. The past few seasons, it's been a bit, for the last few seasons. Last year they finished 15th. The year before that, they finished 16th. So they are normally around that area of the table, from 15th downwards. So, but I think for me, I think they've got a good enough team to stay up. So, yeah, I think 15th for Cagliari, which will be that in that relegation battle slot. But I think overall, I think Cagliari will probably be all right to survive. Next up, we've got Como. Now, I think they're going to have a good season. I think a lot of people are excited to see how Como do this season. Obviously, they've still got Fabregas as manager. Of course, he was linked with the move to Inter. He turned it down. He's decided to stay, which I bet the Como fans are buzzing with. The players they've bought in are unbelievable. They've bought in Alvaro Morata from AC Milan, which is crazy. They've got Ramon from Real Madrid. They've got Perón on the permanent. They've got Nicholas Kuhn from Celtic. He was very good last year, by the way, Nicholas Kuhn. They've got Rodriguez from Real Betis. Van de Grempt from Salzburg. They've got a good team, Como. Towards the end of last season in particular, Como did really, really well. This was Como's form this was Como's form after the 15th of March, where they lost 2-1 to AC Milan. You got a 1-1 draw against Empoli, win against Monza, win against Torino, win against Lecce, win against Genoa, win against Parma, win against Cagliari, draw against Verona, of course, losing to Inter on the final day. So they only lost 1 game since mid-March, which is very impressive for them. But like I said, I think it's going to be a really good season for Como. I think they've got a team that can challenge for Europe, but I think they'll just miss out. So for me, they're going to go in that mid-table spot. But overall, I think 9th for Como, which I think is a very good season for them. Next up is Cremonese. Of course, they got promoted back to Serie A. Of course, Cremonese, I think they got promoted via the playoffs. I'm not sure who they beat in the playoffs. I'm not sure who they beat in the playoffs, but I know that's how they got promoted. Of course, it's their first time back in Serie A in 2 years. Of course, they got relegated in 22-23. Overall, Cremonese they're just nowhere near good enough for Serie A. So sorry if there are any Cremonese fans, but I think relegation for them. I think 19th for Cremonese, however you pronounce the team's name. Fiorentina are next. Of course, they've got a new manager as well in Stefano Pioli, of course, formerly of AC Milan. Of course, previous job was at Al Nassr. They've got a decent team. Fiorentina, they've signed Dzeko, which is a good sign. Of course, he was quite good at Fenerbahce last season. They bought in Fagioli from Juventus. They've got Robin Gosens as well from Union Berlin. Departuring wise, They have lost Ricardo Sotil to Lecce. Who else they lost? I don't really think they've lost anyone major apart from Sotil, who was, I mean, when he played, he was decent now and then. And they still got Moise Keane, Fiorentina, which is good for them. He was very, very good last season. I mean, that front two potentially of Keane and Dzeko will be very good. I mean, they've got as well. They've got Lucas Beltran as well on the bench. Ikone. I think it's going to be a good year for Fiorentina. I think they will get European football. I think Fiorentina got into the Conference League. I'm not 100% sure, but I think European football for Fiorentina. So we're going to put them in that Europe category. But overall, I think 6th place for Fiorentina. Okay, Genoa are the next team. Of course, Genoa, of course, under Patrick Vieira. Of course, a lot of people should know who he is. I'm not sure exactly when he came in. I'm just going to double check now, actually. He came in November of 2024. And in fairness to him, it's literally bang on the money. 9 wins, 9 draws, 9 losses in 27 games. So it's okay. He's decent. Genoa. I know they've lost what's his name again? Devinter. Yeah, they've lost Devinter to AC Milan, which is they've got Ostigard from Rennes. They bought in Lorenzo Colombo from AC Milan. They bought in Valentin Carboni from Inter as well. But overall, Genoa, they're always that mid-table team. So, yeah, I think it's going to be mid-table for them. So, we'll put them there in mid-table. But overall, I think 13th for them, which is mid-table anyway. But you get the point. Verona are the next team. Now, Verona, they did concede a lot of goals last season. I think it is between them and another team to go down. And I think them, another team, and another team for me will be in that battle. I think one other team is quite obvious, but I think between Verona and another team will be, I think between them two for me to go down in 18th. So, I've kind of just given it away there for the position I've put Verona or the other team in. But of course, their manager is Paolo Zanetti. Of course, formerly of Atalanta, Torino as well. He was with Empoli in his previous job. Did all right there, I guess. Like I said, Verona did concede a lot of goals last season. They've brought in Victor Nelson from Galatasaray, which is decent. The other signings I don't really know of. Departure-wise, if they lost anyone major, I don't really know, to be honest with you. But yeah, for me, I think Verona are going down, to be honest. Let's put that there. Oh, why it's not moving? Oh, no, there we go. I think relegation for Verona, just like I said, they conceded way too many goals last season. And yeah, I think this is the year that Verona go down. So yeah, sorry guys. But yeah, next up we have got Inter Milan. Of course, a new manager in Christian Chivu. Of course, he was at Parma last season. It's a massive step up for him going from Parma to Inter. Obviously, I did watch Inter in the Club World Cup under Chivu. They weren't great, but pre-season for Inter, they've done decent, in all fairness, in pre-season. They beat Olympiacos, beat Monaco as well. But yeah, for me with Inter, they've still got pretty much the same team really as they had last year. They haven't really bought in anyone major. They haven't really sold anyone major. You could say Zalewski or Esposito, and that's probably about it. But I don't know about Chivi because, like I said, he's gone from Parma in that relegation battle to a team like Inter who will be expecting to get the title back off Napoli. But yeah, we'll have to see how they do. But I think they will get top 4 Inter. I think they will finish above Milan. So yeah, but overall, I think second for Inter, but I think the team I put first, which is probably a bit obvious, I think they'll walk with the league, to be honest. But I think second for Inter, but I think the title challenge, I don't know. But yeah, Juve are next. Of course, they were in the Club World Cup as well. They looked decent in that. Um, they looked decent in that. I mean, they've signed João Mario from Porto. They've got Conceição on the permanent. They've bought in Jonathan David from Lille, which I think is a good signing. Will probably replace Vlahovic up front, who I think Juve want to sell, but he wants to stay. Departure in wise, they've lost obviously Douglas Luiz today. Has gone to Nottingham Forest. They've lost Timothy Weah as well to Marseille. I think Juve will probably challenge for me for Champions League football, but I think the expectation for Juve is to get into top four, get into the Champions League. Obviously, they are in the Champions League this season anyway, but I think Juve are going to miss out, in my opinion. I think it's going to be close, but like I said, I think they are going to miss out. So I'm going to go. Oh my God, what's this thing doing? There we are. I'm going to go there for Juve. So 5th place, essentially. Lazio are next. Of course, they've got Sarri back in charge. I mean, looking at that, so let me just have a look quickly. Apologies for the loud noises. But they've got Sarri back. I mean, they bought in Deli Bashir, I think, on the permanent. Gigo as well on the permanent. Tavares on the permanent. They just bought in players on the permanent, really. Outgoing wise, haven't really lost anyone major, I don't think. But I think, I mean, they had Broloni last season. He was unreal, by the way. But I think going from Broloni to Sarri is a little bit of a downgrade. But Lazio for me, I'm going to go mid-table for them. So we'll put them there. There we go. So I think 8th place for Lazio. Let me move this up. Probably getting a little bit louder now. Lecce are the next team. And I think they'll be in that relegation battle, but I think they will survive. Lecce, why is it not moving? Why is it? Oh, let's not do that. Go back down there. There we go. I think Lecce will survive. I think it'll be between them and Verona for that last relegation spot. But like I said, Verona conceded a lot of goals last season. I know Lecce have lost Kristovic, but I think Lecce will have that bit more than Verona to survive. So yeah, I think they will survive Lecce in 17th. Parma are the next team. I think they will be in that relegation battle because they've got a new manager. They've actually got Mikel Arteta's assistant, Carlos Cuesta. So it's his first proper job really in management. So we'll have to see how he gets on. I mean, they have obviously lost one big player. Two, you could say a few actually. They've lost Giovanni Leone to Liverpool. Dennis Mann's gone. And they've also lost Jurgen Bunny, who's gone as well. But Parma, for me, will be in that battle again, relegation. But I think they will survive. So I'm going to go with the 16th place finish for Parma. Pisa are next. Yeah, they're going down. I think it's quite obvious that they are going down. I mean, they haven't been in the league in ages. I mean, they've brought in a few decent players, Pisa, but I'm just not convinced at all, in my opinion. So, yeah, I think relegation is screaming at Pisa's name. I hope they do well, but I'm not convinced. Roma, of course, they've got a new manager. Gasperini is their manager. I'm looking forward to watch Roma this season. I think under Gasperini, I think it's a good appointment. Gasperini is a good manager. And I think overall Roma have got a decent team. I mean, looking at the incoming wise, they've got Leon Bailey on loan from Aston Villa, which is decent. And they've got Wesley from Flamengo. Of course, I watched Flamengo in the Club World Cup. He looked decent, so that could be a good signing. Evan Ferguson from Brighton could be a good signing as well. Overall, I think Roma, I think it'll be a good season for them. I think they are going to get top four. And I think they will cement in 4th place. So yeah, I think top 4 for me is calling for Roma. Sassuolo are the next team. Now, I don't think they're going to go down. Of course, they are, because they did get promoted, I should say, last season. But I think they've got a good team, Sassuolo. They've got a decent manager in Fabio Grosso. And like I said, they've got a decent team. They've brought in some decent players as well. They brought in Muric from Ipswich. They've got Fadera from Como, Ismail Kone from Marseille, and they've got some more players as well. But like I said, I think they have got a good team. But I think as well, keeping Berardi's good. I think he'll be. I mean, he scored 6 goals and he got 6 goals, 13 assists in Serie B last season. I mean, his last campaign in Serie A, he got 9 goals, 3 assists in 17 games, which is good for them. So I think it's important for Sassuolo to keep him, which I think they will. But Sassuolo, for me, I think they're going to be mid-table. I don't think they're going to be in the relegation battle at all. So I'm going to go mid-table, like I said. I think they will finish below Atalanta, but above Genoa. So 12th, essentially, for them. Torino are next. Again, I'm looking forward to watch them this season. They've got Baroni now, and I doubted Baroni when he was at Lazio, but he did really well, Baroni. So I think it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. I mean, they've brought in Giovanni Simeone from Napoli, which is good. They've got Franco Israel, the goalkeeper from Sporting. They've got Cyril Ngong from Napoli as well. They've got Tino Angerin from Empoli. Overall, I think they have got a decent team. Torino, I think they've got a good manager in Baroni. So I'm going to go mid-table, top 10, I think, for Torino. So, yeah, we're going to put them there if it loads. There we go. And, of course, 2 teams to go. Udinese. Well, actually, Napoli are next, actually. I don't know why that's that. But for me, Napoli win it. Napoli are going to win the league. I think, to be honest, I don't want it to happen, but I think it will happen. I think Napoli are going to absolutely walk the league. I mean, Conte, brilliant manager. Oh, my mum's bad. That's not good. But yeah, Conte is a good manager. Conte's a good manager. I think Napoli overall got a very good team. So I think they'll finish first and they'll walk it. Udinese are last, and I think they'll be mid-table. So, yeah, I think they'll finish 14th. So I think that is, yeah, that's below Genoa. So, yeah, there we go. That's the table. And let me stop sharing the screen. And we can come back to this. But yeah, anyway, I think that's what the table's going to be. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Goodbye.